Did you guys like that? That was pretty rad. I'm really excited to be here with you guys. Oh, I forgot my cup of water. So how's everyone doing tonight? Are you guys ready to paint? It is Star Wars night. I am wearing my Star Wars shirt. You can't see me though. It has my birth year on it and the year that Star Wars was released in theaters, 1977. That's me. God, that was so cool. What a fun idea. Thank you, Mrs. Hernandez, for making that intro for me. That was rad. Welcome to my virtual paint night. It is Friday, May the 8th, and we could not paint on May the 4th, but I did want to let everybody know on May the 4th that we were having a Star Wars paint night. So, can you guys all do me a big favor right now? Hang on a second. Can you guys all do me a favor? I want to see who's painting with me. So if everybody that is painting along could give me a thumbs up right now, because I want to get a count. I want to thank everyone who's helped us out with this journey and who's been donating and giving to our Venmo or PayPal. We really couldn't do this without you guys. I enjoy this. I want all the kids to have something to do. And like I said, we given out, probably 300 plus paint kits for the kiddos. We enjoy that so much. This last paint session that we did, the kits, I stayed up till 3 a.m. pouring all those paints. It was like 285 containers of paints, but it was so fun. I enjoyed it. I don't enjoy doing work till 3 a.m, but I truly enjoyed filling those cups up with paint, putting all the kits together, knowing that everyone's going to be painting together tonight, and we've got something to do. You know, there's a lot of boredom going on right now. The first few weeks of this quarantine, we were like, we can figure things out to do, and cool, let's go work on this and that now. Let's have family game night, and now we got to switch it up a little bit. So I want this to be another tool that you guys have in your toolbox. Is that fair enough? So does everybody have their paints? We are going to be using black. We're going to be using white. Now, if you have green, go for it. If you don't, I'm going to teach you guys how to make green with yellow and blue. Okay? Fair enough? Makes sense? We probably are not going to use the red, even though some of you have red in the paint kit. That's awesome. Also, I have a spray bottle because in my studio right now, I had to turn my air off. It's a little hot in here, so I'm going to be spraying my paint down. Now, do you guys remember on the instructions I said what materials you would need, and then I said you're going to need an old toothbrush. Okay, here's my old toothbrush. We're totally going to use this to create the galaxy in the back. But I'm going to teach you how to do it properly, because if you don't, you're going to splatter it all over the place. And I don't want to splatter it on my cool stormtrooper right there. So I want everyone to take care of your brushes and anything that you guys have. These brushes that we gave you guys in these kits, these are my choice of paint brushes that I use. They're very nice paint brushes. If you take care of your brushes and you rinse them out and get all the acrylic out at the end of your paint nights, they will last you a long time, okay? So I want everybody to take care of your materials. If for any reason you guys need more paints, if you guys need more canvases, or if your brush goes bad, you need some help with it, just message us, ZP Publishing on our Instagram. You guys could send us a direct message there. Or you could email me, chris.hernandez367@gmail.com. Or if you guys are on my Facebook, just message me. Okay, so anyways, let me get a cup of water real quick. But I'm using an 11 by 14 canvas. Everybody else, if you want to stick with the 8 by 10s, that's probably my choice that I would use for painting this. Just because it uses less paint. When I do my normal paint parties, and when this is all done, I promise, we're going to have a huge paint party. I mean, I'm going to rent out a hall. I'm going to drop some money and just go to like the Moose Lodge and just say, hey, look, we're going to have like 1,000 people here. And I'm going to do a massive paint party to celebrate when all this is all done. I promise. I'm not just saying that. I promise you guys. I use 16 by 20 canvases. So this is an 11 by 14. I'm only painting this size because I want you guys to be able to see it. 8 by 10s, no smaller than 8 by 10s though, okay? So anyways, you should have a flat brush right here and a round brush, okay? If you have other brushes you want to use for different details, go for it, but you're probably not going to need that. And of course, I got my old toothbrush. My professor who worked on SpongeBob over at Nickelodeon said this is a very necessary tool over at Nickelodeon, Disney. They use these when they make a lot of backgrounds, believe it or not. So this toothbrush I've had since 2006. So this is another tool you'll want to have in your toolbox. I am going to be using soft body acrylics. If your acrylics come out a little bit thick, you're going to want to knock them down with some water, which I'm going to go get right now. And then we're going to jump right into this. You know, this is a big debate. He is or she. I don't know what the baby is. It is not Baby Yoda. It is the child. But we're just going to call it Baby Yoda. And we're going to tell anybody else who wants to challenge us, get over it. Fight me on it. Everybody knows the child as Baby Yoda. It's all good. But we just want to have fun. Who cares what Baby Yoda or the child is called? We just want to paint and we want to celebrate Star Wars. And we want to celebrate Friday night and the high desert, hanging out with our families. And we are going to paint something awesome. Mother's Day is coming up. That's awesome. You can give this as a gift. Father's Day is coming up in June. And, there's Amy. And guess what? Amy, Mrs. Hernandez, Miss Amy, we're going to be doing Star Wars trivia tonight, too, while I'm painting. Are you guys excited? Oh, you brought me. Thank you so much. Well,
I thought that you were sending me subliminal messages to bring you a cup of water for your paint. So here it is. Here it is. Hi.
Oh, there's Cherie and Tim said we miss you. Miss you guys. Oh, sorry about that. I'm all bumping my stuff around.
So I have my first Star Wars trivia for you guys.
Are you guys ready for this?
And I can't type this one. The rest will be typed. But you'll understand in just a minute. How do you spell Chewbacca's species, Wookiee? How do you spell Wookiee? So just wondering. See, I can't very well spell it out and type it out because then you'll know how to spell Wookiee. So it just makes sense to come in here and tell you guys that. The rest of them will be typed in the chat, and I will be keeping track through the night who is the first person to answer correctly, and we will do our best to try to do something for you.
We'll give you guys a prime. We'll figure it out.
Maybe a Chris Hernandez original. The painting. No. Oh, no, that didn't work. Anyways.
Look at that. We got some responses already.
Oh.
Cassie. Is Cassie first? Oh.
Just so you guys know, they are all incorrect.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
Yep. Sorry.
No Googling. Hey, don't Google these. I can teleport into your painting area and I can see if you're Googling. So put your cell phones down. Don't be Googling. I will be able to tell. No, I won't.
Oh, wait. Oh. Mrs. Whitman.
Oh.
Not Whitman. Clevenger. Sorry, I was just reading the screen. Miss Tiffany, you actually were the first to have it correct. Yes, it is spelled with a double E. WOOKIEE. Yay for you. Yeah, you are a product of the 70s, obviously.
All right.
I'm going back to my hideaway.
Excellent. Thank you. Hold on. I'm going to get all situated here again. All right. So, once again, hit that thumbs up, you guys. I want to see how many people are painting, how many families are painting. I'm just going to assume if you give me one thumbs up, there's some of you that have 3 or 4 in the household. So, all right. So, I'm going to be looking here. I'm going to be turning around every so often to see if Miss Amy is going to be giving me, or you guys, some Star Wars trivia. Really quick, before I start, I met Mark Hamill a long time ago. It was so rad. It was so cool. I love Star Wars. I'm a Star Wars kid. I met Mark Hamill at a celebrity, what are they called? Fundraisers. Mark Hamill was at Paramount Studios. I was doing a job with my uncle who did some ice sculptures there. And I was walking around. I just met Leonard Nimoy, which was awesome. He was super cool. I met the guy from Home Improvement, not Tim Allen, other dude. And as I was leaving, I started walking, and I was like in dreamland. He turned around and looked right at me, and I just looked into those beautiful blue eyes of Mark Hamill's, and he looked right at me and smiled really big, and I almost fell on the floor. I got lightheaded, and I looked at him, and I went, "Oh my God!" I said, "Luke Skywalker," and I almost started crying. And he looked at me, and he said, "Hey, how you doing?" And he put his hand out and shook my hand, and I was like, "Oh my God! I just met Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker." And this is back in the day when we didn't have cell phones, so no picture to prove it. You guys just have to take my word for it. Anyways, once again, hit that thumbs up right now. We're going to get started. I'm going to start by painting a black background, and I'm going to go down pretty much all the way, okay? So I'm going to start with my black paint, okay? Here we go. Probably a decent, don't use a lot. I'd rather you guys use a decent amount, and then you have to refill it, if that makes sense. So remember, guys, if we're giving you paint kits 3-4 months ago, not even that. Oh my gosh, I could have went down to Los Angeles and grabbed all this stuff, but now it's like, ugh, it's a little bit scarce. So try to preserve your paints as best we can. Okay, so I'm going to wet my brush just a little bit. I'm not going to wet it a lot. I just want to saturate it just a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to wring off all the water on the edge of my cup, just like this. Now, my acrylics I'm using are soft bodies. I don't want to use a ton of water because they'll start running. So I'm going to dab over my paper towel just a little bit, and this is what I want my brush to look like. Okay, here we go. I've got some black paint right on my brush. When I start mixing, I have a different camera set up. I'm going to show you guys how I paint this. But I'm left-handed, so I don't want to paint from left to right. But I think 98% of the world is right-handed. So you're going to want to paint, if you're painting, oops, sorry about that. If you're going to want to paint right hand, you're going to start from left to right. Okay, I'm going to go from right to left because I am left-handed. So here we go. I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to take my time, and I'm going to have fun because I know it's Friday night. I'm not getting graded on this. And look at that. Okay, now watch what I do. Do you see that right there? That's an indication that my brush is thirsty. So I'm going to fill it up. I'm going to add some more. I just want all black. And I'm going to paint across real nice. Now I'm probably going to have to layer this. Probably about 2 different times. I'm going to switch my brush around. See how I flipped it around? I want to get all that black paint out of there. Okay, this is just an example. That is a thirsty brush. That's called dry brushing. We will be using this technique here in a little bit, just not right now. And if you could probably can't see. But there's some weird looking streaks in there. And that is called the awkward stage of acrylic painting. Now remember, we're using acrylic paints. Acrylic paints are going to have to be layered. Think of it as thin sheets of plastic being layered on top of each other to come up with a final product. Here's some more paint. I'm going to load up and I'm going to go more. Now, here's what I don't want you to do. While your painting is drying, please do not paint over it over and over again as if it's going to fix this issue, this dry brush issue right here. Please don't do that. Once that's on there, let it dry. Okay? Acrylic paint, acrylic is plastic. It has to dry. It's nice because it's not oil paint. If this was an oil painting, we'd have to wait several hours or several days. But because we're using acrylic and because it's a little bit warm out right now, it's going to dry and we're going to want to leave it alone. Notice I'm not going back over here. I can see it. It's a little bit shiny. It needs to dry. So here we go. I'm flipping the brush around. Now, your paintbrush should be gliding. Think of like the Winter Olympics, those ice skaters just sliding and gliding across. Look at that. Look how easy that moved. When you're feeling like you're painting on sandpaper, it's time to reload. Okay, and I'm painting the sides of my canvas as well. So if you have a canvas panel, you don't need to do this. If you're using a stretched canvas, please paint the sides and the top because these are actually ready to hang if you'd like. Again, Mother's Day, a couple days. Father's Day, June. Father's Day and my birthday run in the same weekend, so it's kind of cool. My birthday is June 20th. Actually, I share the same birthday with 3 or 4 different people. One of them is my student, Michaela, which is awesome. I love her. The first one I found was my friend Brian at Cal State Fullerton, June 20th. But I was born in 77. I forget what year he was born. And Robert Rodriguez, famous director for Spy Kids, Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Yeah, June 20th. So if you guys want to send me birthday gifts, go for it. I'm not going to say no. I'm going to add more paint. I'm going to keep working my way across. I hope you guys are having fun doing this. This is where you find out what you can and can't do. This is like you got a brand new bike on your birthday or some other special occasion or your first car. Do you guys remember when you first started driving? Some of the kids are like, Mr. Chris, I don't drive. Okay, remember your first bike, your first skateboard? You got to test the waters. You got to jump on that thing and play with it a little bit and see what you can and can't do. This is what we're doing here. We're covering up this canvas and we're finding out, oh, this is what these acrylic paints can do. And this is what they can't do. There's certain paints, like enamels, you paint them and you only have to use one layer. Acrylics, 2-3 layers sometimes. Watercolors, I love watercolors, don't get me wrong, but once you paint watercolors, and this is the beauty of it, it's done. You can go back and add layers to it. Now look at this, I'm working my way all the way across. And I'm just going to keep working my way across. And I'm painting my sides too, remember. Paint the sides. This is fun. I'm having fun right now. I looked forward to this all week, you guys, just so you know. It's been a rough week. I got to give out or stand outside at Oak Hills High School for my students and hold up a sign. You know, those kids, the class of 2020 deserves better. And I told them, you guys deserve better, but this is the best we can do for you. We could just stand outside and hold up signs and just say we love you and we support you, and we do. And today we picked up Joel, our son, our middle son, Joel, who's a senior this year. We picked up his cap and gown and we drove through, and it was really upsetting, I'm not going to lie. So it was neat. It was cool because the staff at Excelsior did what they could. And this is what I told my students at Oak Hills. I said, hey guys, look, this is the best we can do. And we gave everything that we could for you guys without getting, restricted or whatever. But, my son is a senior this year, and unfortunately, he is, now it's really cool because it's like when I picked up his cap and gown and it said 2020, I cried. Sorry, guys. All right. Sorry about that, guys. It's been a emotional roller coaster today. And I was looking forward to this tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right. We're going to work our way all the way down. And I just pulled up my canvas. If you're painting without a canvas or an easel, go for it. It's all good. Now, look up here. This is all shiny right here. This is dull now. Now, I'm going to check it with my finger. Watch this. Can you guys see that? You can see that right there. This is all shiny. And then this is dull. Don't put your finger on it like that. You're going to leave a fingerprint. Okay, so I'm going to use the back of my finger. Now look at this. This is dry. Ooh, look at it. I just found some white streaks through there. This is going to need one more layer of black paint. Okay. Sorry, guys. It's been one of those weeks. I'm really proud of all of our students, though. Good friend of mine that I teach with, Dr. Scott DeHart, said that this is going to build really strong adults, that they're going to be in history. And I love Dr. DeHart, Mrs. DeHart, Allison DeHart, and Dr. DeHart. They're great people, and I've been talking with him a lot about this. And I'm not the only parent. There's a lot of you guys out there that have kiddos that are graduating this year, and it sucks. It really does. But we're going to make the best of it. We're going to make it up to these kids. Oh, there goes some Star Wars trivia right now. All right, so I'm drawing over here. I'm going to set my brush down a minute. Now, if you decide to get up and use the bathroom or get some food, make sure you rinse your brush out really well. Here's my cup of water. I usually drink my acrylic water. Look at that. I just bumped my paint by accident. Look at that. So you just got to be careful. Let it dry. Be patient. This is the part where you have to say it's like watching paint dry. Yeah. But we're not in a hurry. We're not knocking this out real quick. We're here to have fun. We're here to hang out with each other. God, I love that intro. That was so fun. Wasn't that fun? Did you guys like that intro that Mrs. Hernandez made? Awesome. I'm having fun right here. This is relaxing. Friday nights are a little bit different for everyone. But I'm finding now that I can actually read books that I got years ago. I'm watching shows without checking my phone every 5 minutes to see if I'm going in for a job or lesson plans for teaching. And I think a lot of us are finding that this is just a new way of life. And it's not going to be forever, I promise you guys. We're all going to just move past this. And all right, well, guess what? This is pretty much dry. I'm going to go ahead and move on again. By the time I get over here, this bottom part's going to be dry. So I've got more paint. I'm going to go right across. Here we go. And I'm going to flip my brush around. Look at that. Now, do a test run here. If it glides across real nice, great. If you feel it pulling like you're painting on like a glue or a sticky surface, that means you need more paint. And I'm going to be painting across. Now, you're going to find if your paint is drying and you're painting over wet paint that's starting to dry, it's going to pull. It's almost going to be a little bit tacky. You want to lay off of that because you'll actually pull the acrylic up. So I'm going to go from here to here. Here I go. Wow, a helicopter just flew right over my house. Probably looking for me. All right, look at this. Paint your sides. Paint the top. If you have a stormtrooper sitting off to the side, do not paint him. Especially if the bottom says Sideshow Collectibles. Those are a lot of money. This is ready to go. So I'm going to keep working my way down. Now, this is all dry. This is weird. This is all dry. This is how acrylic is, though. It just depends on the humidity or temperature of your house. I'm in my studio right now, so it's a little bit warm. I can't run the air because it sounds like a giant microwave. But it's pretty hot in here. It's all good, though. We're from the desert. Get over it. Right? I'm from Los Angeles County. I'm a native Angelino, and I will never get used to this weather, guys. Sorry. So, but guess what? This is wet, so I'm going to lay off of that, but I'm going to go over here. This is dry. It looks all dull. I'm going to just start painting right over this. Remember, the more layers of acrylic paint you have on your piece, the better. It's going to give it more depth. I've had paintings where I've had 10 to 12 layers of acrylic paint. And it's got a lot of depth to it. There's lots of colors. There's lots of really cool undertones. All right, look at that. Just cover and get rid of all the white. Look at this is dry. I'm going to paint right over this. If it looks a little shiny, don't touch it. Leave it alone. Let it dry. I'm going to work my way down right over here. I can see that's drying, but I'm not going to touch it because it's just a little bit. Now, I poured just enough black on my canvas. And I'm going to paint the sides. And I'm almost done with this. Now, we're going to be painting with some black in a little bit. If you have black on your palette or whatever you're using, don't reuse it. If it's been sitting out for more than 10 minutes, please don't reuse it. It's going to come out really tacky and gluey like. So just keep painting up the sides. Once again, I want to thank everyone for their support and helping us out, and this is really neat. When all this happened, I just sat around for a few days thinking, what can I do? I can't just sit around and play victim or be a victim. There's something that we have to do as a community. And Amy and I have always done what we can for our kids in our community. And I thought, you know what? I want to paint with the kids. I want to keep them busy. I don't want any of the kids sitting around because, you know, guys, I'll be honest with you. We have our son, Jack. Jack is 12. This is going to be heartbreaking, but I took him to the grocery store the other day for the first time, and I thought he went to the grocery store with me before. But when he went out, he just looked at the parking lot, and he was like, whoa, Dad, the parking lot's empty. And it was Burlington Coat Factory, like that parking lot over there. He was just like, whoa, Dad, look at all these, they're empty. And I felt so bad, but the poor guy had not been out of the house in almost 2 months. So, you know, we thank our first responders, which is great. We thank our nurses. And if you're a nurse, EMT, like my Uncle Fred, if you guys are doing any of that, I thank you so much. Oh my gosh, we thank you so much. But guys, please give your kids credit. The kids that are active, that are sitting around, running around normally with their friends, please give them credit. They're sitting in a house now. They're stuck. I mean, they're not in jail, but my goodness. I mean, a field trip for Jack was getting him out of the house and taking him to the gas station one day. I felt so bad for the poor guy. All right. I'm turning around every so often to read your comments. So if I don't see your comment right away, I'm not responding. It's not that I'm ignoring you. It's just I'm looking at this piece. And you know what? I like it. I like the black background. Okay. So I've painted my sides. If you guys have not finished this yet, look, that's drying already. Go ahead and finish. And now I'm going to do another thing here. Oh, I'm going to wait. Okay. Also, I gave you guys, some of you guys have kits that Miss Amy and I put together. The plastic pellets, if you just let those dry overnight, the paint will just peel right off in the morning. Joel used to do that for me. It was really cool. It was fun for him. He'd go in the middle of the night. He was like a little brownie for me. He'd peel the paint off, and he'd set it on my station the next day. It was really neat. It was awesome. So I'm going to let this dry here, and we're going to switch. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm done here. I'm going to go ahead and rinse my brush out. Let me show you how I do that. Here's my cup of water. Now, when you rinse your brush out, okay, here's my brush. I'm submerging it into this cup of water. I'm going to paint the bottom of my cup just like this. Okay, this is not something you do in 2 or 3 seconds. You want to get all that black paint out because we're going to be using a lighter color next. You don't want any of that black paint. See that? No good. We're going to keep rinsing it gently. Take your time. Okay, we're not cooking something that needs to be done real fast. We're painting. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm painting the bottom of my brush. You can't see it. And you can tell how much paint has come out by doing this. You're going to rim your brush just like this. And it's pretty good. Okay. Let me do one thing for you guys to show you. I'm going to pull my other brushes away here for just a second. Okay, can you guys see this okay? This is my paper towel here. I'm going to turn this up a little bit. I'm going to get my paintbrush and I'm just going to wipe it across flat, back and forth on my paper towel. Okay, just like that. Now, it's a little bit gray. If you guys want, you can rinse out your cups of water right now because you don't want any of these light colors we're about to use. You don't want them to mix in with black. So I'm going to give you guys a minute. My sink is like 2 feet away from me because I'm painting in my studio. I'm going to go ahead and rinse this black paint out. So give me just a second. I'm going to give everybody just a minute or so. This is where you guys go use the bathroom, get up and stretch, go get something to eat. But while we're doing that, this is going to dry up. Okay, so I will be right back. Give me 1 second. Okay, I got some Mountain Dew here, some cloudy water from Apple Valley. And I'm going to go ahead and rinse my brush out one more time. And look it's pretty clean. No blacks coming out. Excellent. How's everybody doing? Good? Hey, Lovewells. I just see you guys posting stuff. That's awesome. I got to hold signs next to my very good friend, Aaron Lovewell, who teaches life skills and on your own over at Oak Hills High School. She's one of my best friends over there. And I love her kiddos so much. I'm like the classroom dad and uncle, which is fun. I like it. Sometimes they get a little crazy and I just say, hey, guess what? Your mom's coming back tomorrow, so go deal with it with her, which is what I like. So.
How you doing, Mr. Chris?
You're back.
I'm like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Yeah.
I'm giving everyone some time for their canvases to dry up.
Well, I did do some stuff. I had some golden apple person not respond to me as far as who they were. So I gave the point to Kat, to Cherie and Kyra, because they were second. Kira, sorry.
She's awesome. She has she's famous. She has a bunch of artwork at the sushi place that I used to go to with Tim.
And then Clevenger has a point.
Has a point.
And Nicole Hunsucker has a point.
Yes.
And let me tell you, Nicole, I do remember you from softball. I do remember you. You were like Rocky. You were like, I was scared of you. You weren't scared of me. You had no clue who I was, but I was scared of you.
Uh-oh. Nope. I'm going to try to not play these things because I don't want to get shut down by YouTube.
No, don't do it. Don't go there.
Look at this. Is drying beautifully. I love it. But I'm going to start right here soon. So that's wet right there. Now, if you have a hair dryer at home, go for it. Use a hair dryer. Blast that thing. Blast them. Like like my buddy right here says.
Wait. Like this blaster.
Yeah, I got a blaster. My friend made me a holster, Han Solo holster. Here is my blaster. Isn't that cool?
Han Solo original.
Yep.
It's pretty awesome. Rad. Sorry for interrupting Star Wars night.
Aston? Is that Aston's on there? What's up, Aston?
Oh, I miss Aston.
I miss you guys. Did I do this last night? I left my flashlight here. I was like, look at this.
I love the Anderson family. What on earth? Sorry.
Okay, as you guys can see, this is the only thing left that's wet. So I'm going to turn this off, but when I start mixing paint, I'm going to have this up here so you guys can see how I'm mixing. I'm going to teach you guys how to make green. Blue and yellow make green, but there's different types of, there's different shades of green that you could make depending on if you add white in there. I'm sorry. Hold on a minute. Okay, this stormtrooper is looking at me. He's been staring. I'm going to turn him off to the side. Hope you guys don't mind. It's a little bit weird. Okay. He was almost like, give me a complex, like you're not saying it right. These are not the paints you're looking for. Right? Okay, I'm going to move on back here. My brush is cleaned out. My palette looks just like this. I'm going to move on to making green. But I'm going to start with yellow first. Okay, now I'm a little bit wet right there. For the sake of time, I'm going to dry this with my hair dryer. Because I'm not going to, that's going to just absolutely beat me up. If I let that stop me, that's going to dry for another 10 minutes. Probably, with my luck. So I'm going to hit this with the hairdryer. I'm going to go ahead and mute this mic for just a second, guys, so I can dry this. And I am back. But guess what? Just because I did that doesn't mean you guys are dried up. So why don't you guys all do me a favor? In the comments or where the chat is at, you guys can all give me a thumbs up so I know that everyone's ready to move forward. I'm going to go ahead and start the next phase of our piece. But I don't want to move too fast. I've had a lot of people say, hey, you slow down just a little bit, please. I'm going to do that for you guys. And honestly, where are you going? Come on now. We're all hanging out right now. So I got you guys for a couple of hours at least. We're doing Star Wars trivia. We're hanging out. I'm teaching you guys some really cool stuff. So if you got somewhere to be, I'm sorry. And remember, you could always catch these later. They're going to be recorded onto my YouTube channel, Hernandez Designs. So if you guys can go ahead and like and subscribe. Do I sound like a YouTuber now, huh? I'm not, I promise. Just a teacher and a graphic designer and a barbecue, self-proclaimed barbecue champion. I am. Seeing all those thumbs up. Excellent. Keep them going. Keep them going. All right, now I'm just showing off stuff while you guys are getting ready. Check this out. I was going through stuff that I had at my house, or my parents' house when I was a kid. I got this original advertisement from, this was when it first came out. Check it out. Isn't that cool? That was like my favorite ride at Disneyland because I was a huge Star Wars fan. I actually built a little Star Speeder when I was a kid out of cardboard and I painted it. So, don't know where it's at. It's probably in some landfill somewhere, but I have memories of it. But yeah, 1990 is when I got this. I was there for opening day. Stood in line for about 6 hours. I got a really cool watch that broke after about 2 or 3 days, and I have no idea where it's at. But yeah, it was awesome. Pretty cool. I fell in love with the film a lot more. That two of my favorite things, Star Wars and Disneyland, were together. So. All right, are you guys ready? I have a clean brush. Okay, I have clean water. I'm moving forward. I'm going to use white and yellow next. Please do not knock out your blue and try to move ahead of me. Have fun. Remember, you're not going anywhere. And if you do, it should only be like to the end of the driveway and back. Laugh out loud. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on my other camera so you guys can see how I'm going to mix this paint up. Please do not get too close to your black paint. All right, here we go. Check this out. Here's some white. That's probably about all the white I'm going to use, I promise. So if you guys have paint kits, be very sparing with this. It's always better to add more than to have a bunch of paint left over. Then you got to toss it. And here's my yellow. All right. Are you ready? Here's how I'm going to mix this up. My brush is clean, as you can see. Now, yellow is very thin. I don't care what kind of yellow you get. You can get the most expensive yellow in the world. It's still going to be thin and transparent. So you're going to have to layer it a few times. Okay, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to grab some yellow and white together just like this. Should look like you're making scrambled eggs, right? And I'm going to paint somewhere around here in my canvas, okay? We're going to paint this really cool circular motion. We're going to create movement in our piece. This is a really good composition. So not only is it cool because it's got the child, baby Yoda in it, but we're going to create and use design elements that make for a really good piece. One of them being movement. And here we go. There's where I'm at. I'm going to start somewhere, like right here. Now watch this. I'm just going to twirl my brush around. Oh, I promise you, I did not just make a really nice circle on purpose to show off. And once I painted that, I'm going to paint another circle around that. It doesn't have to be perfect. But it's really bright. Let me see if I could turn this off for a second. Oh, there we go. Can you see that for just a second? Yeah, it's not scrambled egg color because it's very, very bright. I don't know how to bring the exposure down on this. Can you guys see that okay? Can you see that okay now? It looks like scrambled eggs, like you're making scrambled eggs. It's very bright in here is the problem. I got a new camera, so I'm trying to figure out how to bring the exposure down. There we go. Something like that. It's very bright. I got an idea. There we go. Can you guys see that okay now? Now you'll notice the black canvas showing through. Okay, we're going to have to layer that and layer that. This is going to be the fun part. Okay. Now, I'm going to add a little bit more paint to that. I'm going to throw some darker yellow in that. Everyone's going to have a different background. Don't overblend or overmix your brushes. Now, look at this. It's layering, but it's kind of not. And that's because it needs to dry. So while I'm waiting for that to dry, here's what I'm going to do next. Okay. I'm going to mix some blue paint down here. Away from everything. Remember, blue and yellow make green. But I want a lighter green. I don't want to go dark yet. So I'm going to mix up a little concoction right here. And I'm going to keep it away from this. I'm going to make a little area right over here. Okay, this is a very light. Now look at, I didn't have to touch any blue into this little area right here. Okay, now watch this. I'm going to very carefully, I'm going to add a little bit of blue in there. See how I mixed that in right there? All right, it's getting there. Okay, I want it a little bit darker. So I'm going to add a little bit more blue. Now grab the edge. Don't just dip it right in the middle. Grab the edge. You don't want to contaminate your blue. Oh, there we go. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Pelleting your brush is probably one of the most important things when painting. Now, you see all these colors here? I don't want to overblend. I like these colors. Look at that. I like that. All right, here we go. I'm going to keep pulling my canvas forward. I don't understand why it's so bright. It's like, let me turn it down, see if that helps. I just turned the lights out. Sorry, guys. Turn it back on. I'm going to go ahead and start with this color now. Watch this. I'm just going to follow. You guys have been painting with me. You know about these really cool circles and these spheres that we're creating that cause movement. Okay, this is a lighter yellow. Now look at this, or lighter green. I'm going to keep going around until I get that thirsty brush. Remember the thirsty brush we didn't want at the beginning? Well, we want all these really cool variations of color in this. And every so often, flip the brush around like this. Just about right there. I don't want it to go too far. I just want a little area right there. Okay. Now, I want some darker. So I'm going to get this color and I'm going to add some blue to it. And I'm going to mix up the colors. Now, this is kind of a different shade. I'm going to go through here and I'm going to paint. And like I said, this is fun because this doesn't even look like the original that I posted for you guys. And I actually like it better. And you could even go back around this. This is going to be our lightest part, but I'm going to go back over that again. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to rinse my brush out because I want some darker greens in there. Is everybody having fun? This is fun. I wish that I could just have unlimited paint supplies for everybody. I would just paint all day. Okay. I'm going back to this over here. This time I want darker green, so I'm just going to mix on this side over here. I want to keep away from this. I want a clean little section over here. I'm going to mix straight blue right here and some straight yellow, just a little bit right over here. And look how dark that is compared to these. Look at this. Look how dark that is compared to this right over here. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and go back here because this is dry. And I'm going to put a little streak right through here, just like this. This is the fun part. And then I'm going to go to the outer circle. I'm going to throw some dry brush in. Look at this. No refilling. I'm just going to go back over here and I'm going to do a dry brush. I haven't released. Oh, I did, but I haven't added more paint. But look at these streaks I'm getting through here. Look at that. This is called dry brushing. And you're going to keep going and using directional painting. Just like this. Creating this turbine effect, which is really neat. All right. We're just going to keep layering this and layering this. Now we go back in with my darkers. I like that dark blue and yellow effect. Now, the more blue you add, the darker it's going to be. Okay, I want to take it one step further. If you guys have this, great. If not, don't stress. I'm going to add a drop of red because when you throw red into the blue paint, it darkens it. I'm going to put that off right over here. Just a little bit. Be very careful. You don't want to end up with a weird green tone. Add a tiny, tiny drop of the red. Watch this. I'm just grabbing a little corner right there. Just a little corner. And I'm going to mix that in right here. And that's going to immediately darken my green. And I'm going to add a little bit more blue. Okay, look how much darker that is. Now, I'm going to turn my brush from flat to sideways, and I'm going to put probably right here. Watch this. Ooh, and I'm going to follow this circle as best I can. And I'm going to dry brush a little bit of that dark right on the outer edge right over here. We're not even to the fun part yet, and this is rad. Look at this. Just dry brush. Dry brushing means you're leaving streaks. Thank you, Jesus. Everybody's doing what they can, I promise. We're not just doing this by ourselves. We have lots of friends who are contributing and helping us out, and that's rad. We appreciate that, you guys. Dry brushing. Dry brushing is awesome. If you do it the right way, it's cool. I'm going to go out more. Now look at this. When I dry brush, I'm going to use one single. I'm not going to paint like this. I'm just going to do one single motion just like that. And I want to go all the way out to the edge right over here. And the same thing. I'm going to pretend like I'm following through with this, which I am, but I'm going to go through over here onto this side. That's cool. We're adding more layers now. All right, guys, sound off. What city are you painting from? We have a bunch of Crystal Comets on here. I've got some Oak Hills High School Bulldogs. Where are you guys from? I want to see in the comments right now. Just want to see who's painting with me. Go. Get a glass of water. Give me a second. Hello, Carlucci. I miss you, little lady. Check this out. Mrs. Hernandez made this. Lots of teachers. Got the Catalanos watching. Deputy Catalano, thank you for everything you're doing. First responders. Any nurses out there? Let us know. We're here. We'll give you a shout out. You guys are awesome. Catalina Island? What? I don't believe you. Send me a picture of a buffalo. Jeanette, teacher, awesome, love you. Thanks for painting along with us all the time. Do you guys have a collection going? Mrs. Nunez from Crystal has a awesome collection that she sends me. If you guys have a collection of your pieces, put them all together and send them to me. I want to show you guys off. Now, it's a little bit hot in here, so I'm going to dip my brush in the water every so often. Just every so often. Just to make sure my brush doesn't dry out. Ooh, the Longshores. Mrs. Audrey Longshore, Elizabeth Longshore, B. We love you guys so much. The Longshores save us at Comic-Con every time, and I can't even thank them enough. We eat out of an ice chest when we exhibit at Comic-Con. We live out of an ice chest for the whole week. And then there they are. They're like our saviors. They walk up with like Boston Market or Subway. Like, awesome. We love it. I'm like, oh my gosh, we don't have to eat Cliff Bars and granola bars while we're at Comic-Con. We love you guys. You guys are so awesome. We appreciate everybody who supports us with our books, our art, our teaching. We love you guys, seriously. All right, I'm going to add some more paint to this. I'm going to keep going. Okay. I'm going to add some blues in a minute, but guess what? I still want to layer. Here, we got my camera up still here, right? Let's go back over here. See if I can pull this up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, guys. Okay. I want my darker area here. I want some darker colors. I'm going to mix in some blue and yellow with no white, because that's your darkest green. I'm going to add a little bit of red, just a tiny bit. That's cool. Now, I'm not going to use full brush strokes. I like all the black that I can see back there, but I'm going to add a little bit of darker greens, like right over here. They're like greenish blues. And I'm going to turn my brush sideways. I'm going to paint this direction. And I'm going to dry brush again. Look at that dry brushing effect. It's so rad. But just go in one circular. Don't overdo it. Just have fun. Relax. I have so many people that are just, when I give them paint lessons or drawing lessons, they're so overly careful. Just have fun. Just look at this. And like this. But just go in the same direction. That's cool. Look at this. I'm going to work my way up. I like all those streaks. Remember, we're going to paint the child, aka Baby Yoda, right over this. So don't worry too much about, oh, I made a mistake. There's that right there. I guarantee when you're done painting this, you're not going to see it. I promise. Okay? So now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my brush and I'm going to get some straight blue paint with a little bit of the green in it. But I want a lot of blue. Now watch this. I'm going to put it in certain areas like right here. Watch this. You ready? Like this. Right there. And I'm not going to go all the way around. I just want a little spot right there. I want a little bit right here. I want a little bit. Now look at this brush variation. I'm going to turn my brush sideways. I want a little bit right here. A little bit right here. A little bit right up here. Dry brushing. Right up there. I just kind of want this in various spots. This is not planned. This is what we call organic. It just happens. This is coming along. I love it. I'm going to stop right about there. I'm going to flip my other camera around. Maybe you can see that better. Hang on a second. Yeah, the colors are better on that. Can you guys see that okay? Yeah, this camera's really bright. Forgive me, guys. I got a new setup. But you see all those colors, those blues. That's awesome. Very cool. All right. I'm going to rinse my brush out because I want to throw some of these yellow greens back in. So I'm going to rinse my brush out. Rinse my brush out. What's for dinner tonight? I haven't had food yet. I don't even know what I'm going to eat. Last time we had the best friend hot dogs. Those are rad. If you're a native Angelino, if you go to LA a lot, you'll appreciate that. Last time we had pizza. Can't eat pizza every night. If you're a Ninja Turtle, you could totally do that. I'm getting text messages and personal messages from people asking if they can donate. You guys, I promise you, I've sold a bunch of my art already. If you want to help us, you are not obligated to, but I'm just going to do this because I've had five people donate or ask me. But if you want to help us out, you don't have to. We're doing this for free. You don't have to do this, I promise. But because they asked, I'm going to put up my information here. I've made something for everyone so they can check it out. But I want to thank all the people who've helped us out. We've had people donate canvases. People have donated brushes. We opened the door one day and there's a box of paintbrushes from somebody who sent them to us, to our address, and we appreciate that. So I don't want any money from this. 100% of any of your donations go to paint kits. Yesterday we gave out about 70 paint kits, and today I gave about 6 or 7 away, which is awesome. So if you guys want to help out and contribute, awesome. We totally appreciate that. And we've been meeting up like once a week in Apple Valley and Hesperia. If you guys are out of state, I'm so sorry. I wish we could send them to you guys, but you guys wouldn't get them in time anyways. Everything's so behind, but I'm going to put that up in just a second. This is all drying real nice. If you guys want to help us out, there it is. And like I said, again, 100% of this, of any contributions, go towards the kits for the kids. If I could show you my studio right now, I'm looking at 200 canvases. Got about 6 gallons of paint that should be in on Monday. I've got another batch of paintbrushes. If you guys have paintbrushes now that we gave you, hang on to them. Take good care of them. They'll last you for a long time. I always use this example. Look at this. This paintbrush here, I bought this in 2003, 2004. It's in great shape. I've taken really good care of my tools. I take good care of them. Hopefully my kids and grandkids would have these. That's why I want to take good care of these brushes. This brush looks like it's brand new. Okay, see where it's from? It's from France. Take care of your brushes, whether you pay $60 or $6 for them. They're your tools. Take good care of them, okay? All right. Dish is dry. It's ready to go. My paintbrush is cleaned out. I'm going to mix my palette right in front of here now. I was doing it on the left side because I'm left-handed, but I want this to be lighter right over here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this color again. I want my lighter yellows back. And I want a little bit of blue because I want like a little bit of green. So watch what I do here. I'm going to go back to the first design that I made, and I'm going to go right. Look at that. Covered up real nice. And look how I'm twirling my brush. And I'm going to gently brush over the canvas. If you push down really hard, you'll pull a lot of paint out of that paintbrush. I'm going to barely graze over. And I want those little streaks that you're seeing right now. I like those a lot. Not too much. Don't overdo it. Okay, now I want to go back to some greens. I'm going to mix this up right here. And I'm going to go back and throw some greens in here. If you see something really neat, don't go over it by accident. You can't really back up when you're painting, but you could paint over it. It's paint. It'll dry up and you can paint right over it again. All right, I like this. I know what you're all thinking. You're like, Hernandez, please, let's create the nebula. Let's create the galaxy. I want to add a couple little bit more. Where are we going? I might have some darker greens right out here real quick. Let's go right over here. Everyone's going to have a different version of this background, I promise. That's cool. I like that. I'm happy with that. I probably want a little bit more paint right there, but I'm going to let that dry up a little bit. Rinse this out. How's everyone doing? You guys having fun? Take a stretch break. We're about halfway done. We're a little more than halfway done. Take a stretch break. Stand up.
Hello everyone, Sidious Sabus here.
Sorry, I'm looking for something fun right now. Hang on. You guys didn't tell me what you're having for dinner. Come on now. I post all, if you guys are on my Facebook or social media, I post all like my barbecue pics. What do you guys eat for dinner tonight? You can't Google anything now without getting like all these stupid ads. I'm going to forget the... I'll make my own light sound effects. Right? You guys all do that? I want to hear everybody make their own lightsaber effect right now. 1, 2, 3. Come on now. A lot of you are like, that was a dad joke. That's so corny. But you know half of you did it right now. Yeah, I'm looking. Yep, you did it. I'm looking at you right now. You did it. I'm watching you. Those webcams, you guys think that Big Brother's watching you? Mr. Hernandez is watching you too. Pizza. Okay. I rinsed my brush out really well. I want some more color in there. This is dry. It's a little bit wet, but guess what? It's not bad. I'm going to add some more yellow into that, and then I'm going to continue. But watch how I do this time. I don't want a ton of paint on here. I'm going to wipe some paint off. I'm going to paint this again one more time because it's ready. And I'm going to get the side of my brush, and I'm going to make some little streaks right through here. Right through here. Right up here. I'm creating movement. I'm creating like a turbine look. Look at this. Right up here. Right up here. I'm going in random areas. A little bit right there. That's cool. Everyone's going to have a different look to this when you're done, I promise. I think I'm done. I'm good. I probably want some different colors of green. But you know what? This is fun. This is a fun piece. I'm not worried about that. I'm going to rinse my brush out. Okay, because the next part is going to be fun. I'm going to do 2 different versions of this. If you guys have your old toothbrush, get ready. It's on. Are you ready? Let's set my brush off to the side. Again, I'm going to do 2 different versions of this, with the brush and without a brush. Toothbrush, dry toothbrush. Here we go. Here we go. Ready? By the way, Luke Skywalker's lightsaber, that was his father's. So that's actually Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber. The rubber handles that were along the side of the lightsaber, those were windshield wiper blades, I believe off of a 1973 Volkswagen bus. And if you want to build your own lightsaber, the actual ingredients or the recipe is on there. Flash bulb camera from the 1960s, pocket calculator, a shaft for a flashlight from the 70s. That's what they used. You guys heard it from me first. Well, most of you did. Here's my toothbrush. Okay, watch this. I'm going to dip this in my water cup. I'm going to mix it around in my mixture that I made here. Just a little bit. Now, I want everyone to be very careful with this. I'm going to move my friend over just in case. Because he costs like $300. And that belonged to my brother-in-law, Dan. And I don't want to get any of that paint on him. I am watching you. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to get my toothbrush and I'm going to splatter it very gently. Don't get all crazy. Just gently. Now, if you go up close and back, you're going to have different looks to this. Look at this right here. I'm going to go around with my toothbrush. And you will get the feel of this. This is a yellow mixture. I'm going to use some white here in a minute. Now, if you pull hard and back and then you go slowly, you get different splatter effects. Do not touch these after you splatter them, and watch what you put behind you because it could make a mess. Okay. This is the toothbrush effect. If you don't have an old toothbrush because you've kept the same one for 6 months, yuck, go change your toothbrush out. No excuses. Go get a new toothbrush. Use your old toothbrush for that. Just kidding. Get a paintbrush. Water it down really good. You don't want a ton of water in it, but you don't want it to be dry. Go with that same mixture. Should be a watery brush. Now watch what I do here. I'm going to get my finger very carefully. Don't flick it really hard. Just try a little bit. Oh, I like that. Be careful because when you're flicking the brush, it's actually going back too. So you'll end up with a bunch of paint in your little area. You'll get some of that too, but that's okay. I'm not worried about that. Okay, be very careful. Don't start flicking this thing like crazy. I've seen people do that at paint parties and they end up with paint on their glasses and their hair. Very gently. Look at this. Okay, this is just yellows. I'm going to switch to white. So I'm going to wipe it off. Don't rinse it out. Get some water. Add it to pure white. And remember, it should be like coffee creamer. Shouldn't be super thick. And I got pure white on here now. Pure white and then yellow that's about 5 to 6 shades darker. Again, be careful because you can get it all over your hands. You want to be careful that you're not flicking paint all over the place. And then every so often check and look at your area that you're not making a huge mess. How you guys doing with that Star Wars trivia? Just let everything happen naturally. Ooh, that's cool. I like that. Let it happen naturally, organic. Right there, we're missing some spots right there. Make some small, make some big. But whatever you do, don't make a mess. Look at this galaxy I'm creating. Make sure you get the bottom, the middle. This stuff's landing all over me. All over my mic. Got a brand new microphone. Have to wipe that all off. Oh well. All right, I'm going to not use my brush anymore because I'm making a mess. You guys can, but I got a microphone like right in my face. And it's got paint on it, so I'm going to have to clean it off later. Emma, are you painting with me? Look at my hands. All right, how you guys doing with that? Good. Cool, I'm just looking at messages. You guys are doing awesome. Make sure you guys clean your remember, this is acrylic paint. If it gets, like I'm painting on the glass surface. If you guys are doing a paint party at home and you are looking for something to paint on, remember the dollar store has tablecloths for like $1. You guys could throw them away right afterwards. So that's really cool. All right, how's everybody doing? All right. Does that look good? Okay. I have to say this. We have a student, little Emma, who saw me while I was painting last time and saw that my hands were covered in paint. And I sent her a picture, her mama, and this is what she said to me.
Keep scrubbing, Mr. Chris.
I guess my hands were dirty and I said I scrubbed them already, and this is what she told me. Keep scrubbing, Mr. Chris. I don't know if you guys heard that, but... Anyways, I want to add my next layer of paint. I want to add some blues into that. Actually, you know what I want to do? I have an idea. I want to throw some blues in there, some regular blues. So I'm going to get my round brush here. I'm going to get some blue. I'm going to... Very little paint on this guy. Watch what I do right here. Watch this. I'm going to grab my brush. I'm just going to throw some blue in right there. I'm going to throw in some blue right here. I'm going to push down on my brush really good right here, and I'm going to throw some in right there. Actually, I want that more dry brush look. So I'm going to push that brush and really spread that out right there. I'm going to throw some of that blue right here. Maybe some blue right here. And maybe some blue right here. That's cool. We're creating this really cool environment that our child is going to be sitting on. I'm good with that. Okay, I'm good. The last thing I want to do is I want to splatter some blue stars. We got yellow and white stars. Go back to my paintbrush here, or my toothbrush. Paintbrush. It is a paintbrush. I want some blue little stars in the background. Abstract. Look at that. Woo, I like that. That's cool looking. Especially the yellows and the blues go really well together. I want some darker, so I'm going to water the toothbrush down a little bit more. You could do the same thing with your paintbrush. I think I'm cool with that. Very abstract looking. Kind of like pop art. I like that. Not too much. Happens. Rinse your toothbrush out if you're using that, or rinse your brush out. Because remember, this stuff hardens and you don't want to ruin your toothbrush. The reason why I was able to keep this for so long is because I always rinse it out. This is completely cleaned out. I'm going to let that dry up for a second. And then we're going to start painting the silhouette of the child on here. We're going to paint right over all this with black. So we're going to switch to black here in a second. Again, if you have black here on your palette still, don't use it anymore. We're going to get new paint on there. This is completely dry right here, so I'm going to reuse that. All right. That's good. I'm not going to let that dry too long. I'm going to go back to using my black. I'm going to bring my palette right back over here. Because sorry guys. Because I don't really need to mix a lot of paint anymore. I'm pretty much done here. We're like 90% done with this piece now. I'm going to go use my round brush for this. My toothbrush, I love it. It's gone. We're going to put it back in our toolbox. Black. New black paint. Do not use any old black paint that's there. It will make your life miserable. I'm going to go to my round brush. I'm going to load up some black paint. Now please follow along with me. I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you guys about 20 or 30 seconds to catch up with all this, because here I need you guys to all follow along with me to paint the outline of the child, okay? But I am going to have this brush loaded up, ready to go with black paint. It's my round brush. I'm going to set it down just a second. I'm going to give you guys about 20 or 30 seconds to catch up.
Mr. Chris isn't here, but I'm here. I've hijacked his microphone. Yes, I unmuted it. I just want to let you know, Kira and Cherie, you are in the lead with 3 points right now, but there are a few people trailing very swiftly behind you. So please do well. Do well, all of you. This is just for fun, by the way. I am glad that you guys are loving the trivia and wanting more trivia. I am typing as fast as my nimble hands will allow me to. And Mr. Chris is back. And isn't he doing a swell job? Everyone give him an applause. Like, I don't know where you are, but let's clap for Mr. Chris for the amazing job.
I'm all right.
No, he's more than all right. We all know that. This is amazing, and thank you all for joining us tonight. And I hope to be seeing all of your paintings. Please post them to any social media. I love to see the paintings when you are finished. Thank you. Mr. Chris, it is all yours.
Thank you.
Sorry for hijacking.
That's all right.
It seemed like the Star Wars thing to do.
Hijack.
Hijack. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just seemed right.
Who else hijacked stuff? Han Solo. Kessel Run. Ooh, do you guys know about the Kessel Run? Yeah. Do you guys know about the Carillion Wars? Did you guys know that the red stripes on Han Solo's pants are Carillion blood stripes? They're actually like chevrons that you receive in the military, except they were given to him during the Carillion Wars. Ooh, bet you didn't know that, right? Ashley, Cal State Fullerton alumni? I'm just reading your comment. My Titan sister, 2010? Ooh, I'm 2011. That's rad. I have a Titan sister on here painting with me. All right, here we go. Is everybody ready? If you're ready to move on to paint the rest of the child, we're going to paint the outline of him, her, it, child, Baby Yoda. I don't know. Are you guys ready? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to move on. Captain Kirk. You know, I met Captain Kirk as well. I met William Shatner years ago at a charity fundraiser in Irvine. He was walking alongside Sugar Ray Leonard, and I got to meet him. He was so cool. He's a super nice guy. I didn't get to talk to him, though. He smiled. He has the whitest teeth in the world, that guy. But, yeah. All right, I'm moving forward. I've got a black wad of paint on my round paintbrush here. And this is all dry. I like everything. It looks like, I mean, this right here looks cool. If you're going to stop right here, I don't blame you. But don't, because you'll receive no credit. Just kidding. You're not getting graded on this. I'm not back in the classroom. I'm going to go up, not to the halfway mark. Go to the halfway mark and go up a little bit higher. And I'm going to go from here down to about right here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually put a mark. I can see this. I'm going to put a mark right here. I like to have a starting point and a stopping point. And I'm going to go about right here. I'm going to put a mark like right here. Okay. Right here. So not halfway. Go to the halfway mark of your canvas and go up a little bit higher and put a little mark right there. And then go over, not quite halfway to the middle, but over a little bit and put a little mark right there. Okay. Are you ready? Oh, I told you guys this already, right? Give me a thumbs up if you guys are painting along with me. Everybody, please give me a thumbs up. I'm trying to let everybody know how many of my cool friends are painting along with me. No, I don't get money for this. I just want to see. I think it's fun. Like, oh, go look. Give me a thumbs up. Please. It's just fun to see. I don't get anything out of it. Just want to see it. Okay, here we go. Now, I'm going to tell myself, I'm going to go from here to right here. I'm going to put my finger. This is how I like to paint. I like to plant my finger. This is completely dry now. I like to plant a finger on my canvas just like this, so I could move my hand around while I'm painting. But I'm going to go from here down to about right here. Now, you shouldn't go straight across. It should be at an angle about there. Okay, you're going to be painting downward. We're going to start with his ear. I'm going to go from here to here, and I'm going to wave my brush around, and I'm going to push a little bit thicker or push down harder as I get to right there. The harder you push down the brush, the thicker your line, and you'll see that. So barely put any pressure on the brush. Okay, and then get thicker, and then push down, it gets thicker, right? Okay, so that's good. Now, don't make it super wavy, but just a little bit. It should not be straight, okay? Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go from this corner here, and I'm going to go down to about right here. I'm going to put a little mark right there. And your brush movement is going to go in this angle, okay? So be careful not to put your finger in this wet paint. I'm actually going to do this, and I'm going to go from here down to here. When you're crossing the street, you look ahead. You don't just stare at the floor. You have a starting point and a stopping point. So I'm going to go from here down to here, just like this. And I'm going to get thicker as I get closer to my stopping point, about right there. Actually, this should be more round. Something like that. That looks good. I like that. This is going to be in the style of Impressionism, Post-Impressionism, brush strokes, lots of heavy brush strokes, no perfect lines. Vincent van Gogh, Edgar Degas, Seurat, all these famous post-impressionist painters didn't paint surrealism. They painted using implied brush marks. Okay? That's good. I like that. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to paint a line next from here to here because I'm going to make the top of his head. But before I do that, I'm going to tell myself I'm going to go from here across, and I'm going to go at this angle down this way. Okay, I don't want it straight across. I want to go from here to here. And I'm going to put a mark somewhere around right here. Okay, everybody do that. Before I paint this line, I'm going to go from here. Watch how I do this. From here to right there. There's his other part of his ear. Her, his. We're going to find out what the child is. And then I'm going to put a mark. I'm going to go from here. I'm going to follow these. See these swirls we made? I'm going to follow them and go down to about right here. Look at this. This matches up right there. You want the ears to be on the same plane. I'm going to put another mark that goes from here to about right there. I think the bee's knees just got that one. Kat, you got a challenge because I know the Longshores and I know Beatrice Longshore. She stinking rocks at all of them. Audrey, Bee, and Elizabeth. Big Star Wars fans. I know it. I know a lot of you guys are, but I just know them personally. I know, like, they're my lifeline if I'm going on to that one show. Okay, here we go. Look at this spot right here. I'm going to go from here to here, but I'm not making a straight line. I'm going to go from here and I'm going to arch it to about right here. Watch how I do this. I'm going to go from here. Just like that. All right. I want to get some more black paint on my brush. I got the ears established down here. You know what? I want to go down a little bit more. Just like that. Now, the child has this face where it's got like his face buried a little bit in this blanket that he's wrapped in. She, he, she, it, the child. So I'm going to make that blanket right down right here. So I'm going to go from here. I'm going to make a line like that and like that. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. If your lines aren't straight and you have brush marks like this, leave them. This is going to be fun. You're going to see what we're going to do here in a second. You know what? I want to make his ear here a little bit wider like this. Look at that right there. I'm going to show you how to fix that right now. I left that there on purpose. The child's ear was not wide enough. I'm going to leave that there. Watch how I go back to this in a second. I'll show you. All right. I'm going to go here to here. Let's all agree on one thing. This is the middle. I'm not going to paint over that. This is the middle of the face right here. This oval, this is the middle. So I'm going to put a little mark right here like this. I love the conversation that's going on. I'm going to stay out of it because I'm reading, I'm learning stuff. And I'm going to go here and I'm going to make, this is the child's cheek right here. This is one part. It's going to go through here. Just like that. This is rad. All right. Now I'm going to put some detail into the blanket right here. So I'm going to put these little lines right here like that. I might put a little one right here. See my brush marks? I like those. Still going to go back and fix that. I'm not worried about it though. Remember, this is paint. It dries. We do whatever we want with it. I'm going to put a little mark right here. Let's go back into this ear right here now and watch how I do this. Very sloppily applied brush marks. Like that. I'm making the inner part of the child's ear. Whatever I do on this side, I'm going to do on the other side. Do something somewhat similar to this. I'm going to go here. These are called loose brush marks. When you're painting a nice line, it's a fine line. When you're doing marks like this, they're called loose brush marks. Relax your hand, you just throw the brush. And see all these little marks I'm making now? I've not put any paint on here. Very little pressure on the brush. Barely touch your canvas to put these little marks right here. All the way around, right there, right here, right there. These are very loose, implied brush marks. Your child looks like Stitch. Shouldn't look like Stitch. Not yet. Well, Stitch is an alien, and the child is technically kind of an alien. It's not a human, so you're not far from it. So you're good. All right, here we go. We're going to use the mirroring effect. When you paint portraits, you paint things with symmetry. Whatever you do on one side, you're going to do on the other. Okay? This is really simple. We're going to paint this all together. Is everybody ready? Give me a thumbs up because the eyes, everyone's going to struggle with. Once we get past the eyes, you're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to say, oh, wow, this came out really nice. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you're ready to move forward. Here's some Star Wars trivia that Mrs. Hernandez didn't plan. I'm just going to throw mine out there. Who played Darth Vader? Not James... oh gosh. James Earl Jones is the voice. Who played Darth Vader? Who was the guy who was like 6'6", 6'7" that was in the costume? Who was he? Don't Google it. Nah, I'm watching you. I'm looking at you. Put your phone down. Yes, I am watching you. Everyone's laughing at you. I totally caught you. You know who you are. Who played Darth Vader? Who was the original Darth Vader? Not the voice. Not James Earl Jones. Someone got it. Vegas Skulls. David Prowse. All right, here we go. You ready? Awesome. You guys rock. That was fun. David Prowse. In fact, if you ever got to meet David Prowse, which I never did, I did meet Peter Mayhew before he passed away at Comic-Con, who played Chewbacca. If you ever got to meet David Prowse at conventions, he would always sign the real Darth Vader, David Prowse. I just think he just felt like he was forgotten or nobody knew who he was, so I feel really bad. But hey, man, you took the job. You knew that James Earl Jones was going to be dubbing over your voice, so oh well. Here we go. I'm going to put an eye right here and an eye right there. Now, depending on where you place your first eye is going to have everything to do where you put your second eye. So this curve we made right here, I'm going to put another one right here, just like this, just like that. Everyone do that, please. Shaq. You're thinking of Shazam. Is that the movie Shaq was in? Yeah, Shazam. Who answered Shaq? Get off my feed, you answered Shaq. Just kidding. Don't get off my feed, please. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. All right, here we go. His eye's going to go arch, like a little bit of a smiley face. I'm going to go up and down, just like that. And I can reshape this if I want. No, the child has big eyes. Cute, big eyes. Oh, baby Yoda. Come on. Baby Yoda. So cute. Now, whatever I do here, you're going to have to go right on the other side and duplicate. So remember, this arch you made right here, you're going to go right across. Remember, there's a little spot for the nose, so we're going to put that in next. If you cannot make this brush stroke with the paintbrush, flip your brush around, grab some black paint, just like this. And I'm actually going to draw it on there for you guys. And all it looks like is right here. Get some more paint. If you could do it that way. If you don't want to do it that way and you want to paint it, just like that. Remember to clean that off so you don't get that in your hands or your hair or your glasses or your clothes. Please don't get this in your clothes. It may not come out. Now, look at the spacing right there. The spacing you put in right there has to match exactly on this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little mark right here. And I'm going to go across from here to here, because I want my eyes to be on the same plane. Look at this angle right here. I'm going to put my brush across. If you have another brush, you can do this. Check this out. I'm going to paint with my right hand for a second. I want this to be in this direction. So I'm going to put a little mark right here. and a little mark right here. If you want to eyeball it, go for it. But I don't want one eye to be taller than the other, so I'm going to put my brush across very carefully. Don't put the brush on the canvas. Put your finger like this so that you don't do that. You don't stick it right on there. And look at that, lines up. That should go a little bit lower. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paint an arch that goes from here to here so that these two match. Now remember, this is no higher than that. That's how you line things up. That's how you use symmetry. That's actually a little bit higher than I thought, but we could adjust it. Oh, you really love Mr. Chris, huh? You better. You're stuck with me. Till they lift this quarantine thing, you're stuck with me in the same house. Mrs. Hernandez. Don't worry about making this perfect. Now this is dry. I'm going to go over it with a little bit more black paint. I'm cool with that. They're not 100% exact, but guess what? The more you try to be perfect with these paintings, the less fun you have, I promise. Just have fun. It's a canvas. It costs $1, $2. Okay? When you're doing brain surgery on someone one day, which I know most of you will, you have to be pretty perfect. But when you're painting these pieces, just have fun, you guys. Just have fun. Okay, I'll give you guys all a second to catch up with that. The Steed family's painting along. Adam, I just remembered you got that. Your username's your Instagram name. The Steeds are huge Star Wars fans. They got some of my original art. Well, Adam, I knew who you were, so you can deal with Mrs. Hernandez with that later. I'm going to make a little bit more of a peak right here. I want them to look symmetrical. If they're not 100%, I'm not super bothered by it. I'm really happy how this is coming out. Now, I want you guys to roll your brush around to get a nice fine point. If you roll your brush around and lift up, you'll make a nice point, almost like a pencil or a pen. Because the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to paint these arches where his eyebrows are at, or his brow ridge. It's going to go from here to there. Very little pressure on the brush. The more you push on the brush, it changes the line weight. And I'm going to go from here, and I don't want this to go any higher than right here. See how I did this? Look at how everything's lining up. The nostril right there lines up with where I'm going to put the next mark. And it's going to go from here to here. I'm playing connect the dots. Just like that. And I'm going to put these frown lines right here. Just like this. There's one. And I want another one that follows pretty similar. Okay. I'm going to put some lines in right here on the side of his cheek. I'm going to start on this side and do this. Like these little S curves. I'm going to throw a little bit right here on the bottom of his eye. Her eye, sorry. This is coming out cool. We're almost done, you guys. I'm really sad. I've been looking forward to this all week. And we're almost done. But guess what? If you want to watch this later, you can totally go back and watch it. It's going to be on my feed in just a little bit. All right. And I'm going to go back. Very little pressure on the brush. I'm going to put some lines here. Put a little bit of lines right here. And I'm going to throw some lines like right here. I like all these lines. Now watch this. I'm going to go up here. Just a couple little ones right here. Look at that.
Hi, Mr. Chris.
Hello. You're invading my space again? Just kidding.
Yeah,
You
I
can come in.
totally didn't know Adam Steed was originally from Vegas.
I knew that.
I learned something new today. And so they say you can't teach an old dog a new trick.
I'm going to
but
go right
I learned a new
here.
trick. Oh, look at that.
Well, the Raiders in Vegas, their home opener is against the New Orleans Saints, and I'm going to go up there and watch the football game with my Uncle Richard. Not a Raiders fan, man. Sorry. Grew up in Los Angeles County. My parents grew up as Raider fans. Not a Raiders fan. Sorry, guys. I'm going to put some more of these brush strokes. Now, look at it. If I put very little pressure on the brush, I can just make these little cool wispy marks just like this. I'm going to put them all over. And this is the background. We're going to do the midtones of this. I'm cool with that. Don't overdo it on this. You could easily...
Chris,
Yes.
the bottom of the canvas, you still have this wrap. Can you take it off?
Yeah, I will. Do it right now.
Because Nikki said that she can't see it. Oh, man.
Boom.
I just called Nicole Nikki. I hope she doesn't mind.
Okay. Here we go. I'm not going to paint any more on that. I'm happy with this here. I'm going to rinse my brush out.
Perfect. Bye, Mr. Chris.
Bye.
Just checking.
I'll see you in a little bit.
Oh, I'll be back.
Thank you for visiting me.
What?
Thank you for visiting me.
Oh, yeah. Always.
Rinsing my brush out. Now, these round brushes, you don't want to smush them around. You want to paint the bottom of your cup. Okay, the Catalanos were here earlier to pick up some supplies, and I talked to both of his little, or one of his little ladies. If you guys need to clean your brushes out, you can use hand soap. If you like this and you want to invest in a kit or something and you want to purchase brush cleaner, let me show you what I use. I use this brush cleaner. It's like $3, $4. I've had this one for about a year. I have a giant one that I use too. It's like $20. The giant one, I use it because of my paint parties, and I have to rinse out about 35 to 40 brushes a night. But that one, they'll last you about a year. This one should last you about a year, 2 years. You just seal it back up. You wet it, and you swirl your brush around in it. You rinse your brush out, and then you reshape it the way you want it to look, and then you let it sit up and dry. All right, I am going to use yellow paint. I'm not going to get new paint. Just going to grab some yellow paint from my palette. Remember that scrambled egg mixture we made? Probably want it a little bit darker than that. There we go. Very carefully, I'm going to make some lines where his ears are at, just like this. Very little pressure on the brush. You don't want a ton of paint on there, and I want a little bit like right here. Follow these curves. And I'm going to put a little bit on the bottom here, where I painted his ears. Oh, you know, let me move this thing. And I'm going to go put some paint right over here. Right there. And a little bit right here. Look at that. A little bit of yellow right there. Yellow right there. I'll let you guys catch up with me. It's wherever you guys want to put these brush marks. I like that. That looks cool like that. Ah, we're almost done. How do your pieces look? Good? You guys happy? You have the best painting teacher, I promise. I'm going to throw some yellow right here. Right here. Remember the mistake I made? I ain't worried about it. 'Cause guess what? It just got covered right up. I'm going to put a little bit of yellow right here. Just a little bit of a mark right there. Maybe a little bit right here. This is rad. How cool. Love it. How's everybody doing? It's upside down. Yeah, I gotta work on the camera exposure. Did you guys get the idea? Yeah, I like it. I'm gonna add a little bit more yellow because yellow is transparent. I just want a little bit more yellow right here, right here. Just these little areas. This is not planned. I'm putting them wherever I feel like, just because. Now, I'm going to rinse my brush out. I'm going to rinse all that yellow out. Really good. You don't want any yellow because we're going to be using some blue next. Okay, I'm going to grab some blue. Make sure your brush is pretty dry. You don't want a bunch of water in there. You don't want to get to the end of this and say, oh no, a bunch of water gooped out of my brush. Please don't let it do that. I don't take any responsibility if that happens to your piece. I'm going to get my brush and I'm going to put a very thin layer of blue paint right here like this. Very thin, and I'm going to follow through just like that.
Sorry to intrude, Mr. Chris.
What did I do now?
Nothing. But I just have to say, like...
What did I do now?
I just have to do some shout-outs.
Okay, go for it. Here.
Okay. First of all, I just have to say, I love you, Beatrice, and Audrey, and Elizabeth. I miss you guys so much. And I love your all-knowingness about Disney. They are like at any point, if I need to know something, that's who I contact.
Or you bump into them at the park.
Yeah, we like randomly run into them and the Hamiltons at the park. Go figure. Anyways, I just want to let you all know that right now there's a two-way tie.
Talk closer to the mic.
There's a two-way tie between Cat, Creative Arts Theater, and Zito Garcia.
Ooh.
No offense, Creative Arts Theater. I love you guys. But Zito is like 10 years old. He is like a mastermind. He is one of my engineering students. Love you, Zito. Miss you. And there's a two-way tie right now. Oh, and I'm seeing lots of like things coming up. Mike and
Oh, that's
Nessa.
Catalano.
Oh, hi, Mike. And your daughters and loveliness.
They said, bye. Don't leave yet. We're not done yet.
Who's leaving?
Catalano, you're not done yet, deputy.
No one may leave until I say, because I don't know. Because I just say.
All right, let me finish this painting.
Okay, we're almost done, guys. We're almost done. Anyways, I have one more question. It's like a sudden death. Right, Mr.
All right, you hear that?
Sudden death, Zito.
Catalanos, you better not leave yet. We're not done.
Cat, you got this.
We're not done. Okay, I'm going to get some more blue paint. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to put a mark right here. Right in here. Everybody do that right now. And I'm going to throw a little bit of blue right here. A little bit of blue right here. A little bit of blue right here. And right over here. Underneath the ear. Make that ear pop out a little bit. Just like that. Wow. We're not done yet. Rinse your brush out. Dry it out on your paper towel. I'm going to get some pure white. Just a little bit. You don't need a lot. I've used about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons worth of paint for this entire piece. Get white on your brush. Wipe as much as you can off. And I want you to go in and outline right over here. Right here. Right here. There. Right over here. A little bit right there. It's where you guys wherever you want to put them. But there has to be white. There has to be contrast. There has to be some white, yellows, and blues. Just like that. There, right there. Yeah, I want a little bit more right up here. I will totally do a pinstriping class for you guys. If you guys go to my website, hernandezdesigns.com, and you click on the pinstriping category, you'll see the famous pinstripe pieces that I made that everybody's stealing. And no, I'm not stealing art, Star Wars art. It is fan art, but people are blatantly just stealing my designs and tattooing them and putting them on upholstery and different countries. And, at least give me some credit. But lame. Anyways, my pinstripe pieces are on there from Star Wars. I have some shirts that I've made. No, I am able to do that. People ask about copyright. 60% changing up a design, 60%. And it's your own design. It's fan art. It's considered fan art. Okay, this is done. Let's finish this up. Turn your brush around. Everybody turn their brush around. It should be a flat, smooth tip on the end of your brush, just like this. Okay, here we go. Make sure this is dry. I'm going to get my brush and I'm going to dip it in the white paint just like this. Watch this. Upper left-hand corner, I'm going to put a dot. There's one. Redip it. Go right over here. Whatever you do here, you do on this side. Like that. You want to paint this? Go for it. This is the easy way to do it. When I pinstripe and I make my dots, these are my pinstriping brushes right here. This is what I use to pinstripe. Whenever I make dots, I turn my brushes over and I dip them and I just go bloop, bloop, bloop. Okay. Now, smaller ones, very little pressure on the brush right here. And you're going to put a mark right there. And right there. Little tiny dot. Don't put it too big because you want the ones above to be bigger. And I must say, I'm happy with this piece, and this is the end of our piece. I'm going to sign this piece now. This piece will be available for purchase later. Again, all my paintings right now, we were going to fund our book. Nah, I'm going to wait on our book. We're good. 100% of my proceeds from my paintings, from my artwork, donations, they are all going towards supplies that we put together for the kids. If you want to contribute and help, awesome. If you can't right now, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We got you guys. Okay, we have friends. Between my artwork that I'm selling and friends that are donating, we are good, you guys, I promise. I got a stimulus check too. Boom. Art supplies. Boom. All right, what color am I signing this with? Please don't say yellow. Let's do a light blue. I'm going to sign my piece. Good. Not bad. All right, you guys. Let me put up my information. Someone just texted me again. I am going to make these available. This has been a busy week, you guys, and as you know, it's been a little bit of a tough week for us. I really hope I get to say goodbye to my seniors a different way, but we had our cap and gown pickup, and that was sort of our goodbye to them because we honestly don't know. But I want to sell more of my artwork. I have sold several pieces. 100% of all those the funds went straight to putting together kits for the kiddos. I'll make this available for purchase too. And like I said, donations, I don't want to charge outrageous prices. I just want everyone to own, especially my friends, my artwork. And just want everyone to paint. I want all the kids to paint and have fun. I don't want to make any money off this. Like I said, I just want every kid to say, you know what, or family, mom, dad, big kids. I want them to say, you know what, this show ended on Netflix. I'm done hanging out. I don't want to sit on my phone anymore. I want to do something fun. I want to be creative. And you guys, here's some other things you can do. Go in your backyard. Go hang out. Go walk around. Go have fun. When I was a kid, I know you hear that stereotypical thing. Oh, I used to play with sticks and rocks in the backyard. I really did. Like we had this really cool thing called imagination, and we used to do fun stuff in the backyard. Guys, find new things to do. This is all new for all of us, okay? So everybody, find something to do. This is a new tool that you have in your toolbox. Okay, if you guys need any art supplies, reach out to me. You could email me, chris.hernandez367@gmail.com. If you need any help with artwork, if you're working on a piece and you want me to help you, just email me. Okay, won't give you my phone number. I'll just give you my email, chris.hernandez367@gmail.com. If you need help with any art homework, email me. I'll help you out with that too. But I want you guys to make the best of the situation that you're in right now. Have fun. Okay, take this time to relax, to slow down. Go hang out with your family. Spend time with your children. Spend time with your brothers and sisters. Zoom with your friends. And you know, this is all going to end soon, guys. But in the meantime, these tools that you have, I hope you'll keep them forever. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and end this stream now. I'm glad you liked this piece. I had a lot of fun with you guys. I was really looking forward to this. Thanks to all the friends who shared. We had about 40 people who shared. We really could not do this without you guys. Please share. Every time I make a post on my Facebook, please share it. We just want a bunch of people painting. And we figured there's probably about well over 100, 120 people painting tonight. So have a good rest of your night. Go hang out with your family. Learn new things. Pick up some of those books that you've got from like years ago that have been sitting around. Blow the dust off of them. Sit down and read a book. Meditate. Go walk in your backyard. Check out all the cool stuff that's in your neighborhood that you never saw because you were so busy running around. Go watch Star Wars. There's like a butt ton of Star Wars trilogy or movies that you can watch. Okay, but just make the best of everything that's going on right now, you guys, okay? Look out for some of these pieces that I'm going to sell or auction off or whatever so that we can continue to do this for our families. Thank you to all of our families who've been contributing. My Oak Hills family, our Hesperia, Victorville, Apple Valley family, everybody who's been contributing to our Venmo, our PayPal, everything 100% is going towards paint supplies, canvases. I enjoy dropping off. We dropped off all those art kits, 70 art kits yesterday we dropped off for the kids. And we really couldn't do it without a bunch of our friends giving us funds or donating, having things sent to the house. So anyways, guys, go have a good rest of your night. Did you have fun? Yes. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you guys thought. I love you guys. I miss you all. Again, when all this is done, I promise you guys, when this is all done, I promise you guys, I don't care how much it costs. There's a Moose Lodge in Hesperia. It holds like 800 people. I'm going to have a massive paint party there. I want all you guys to come. That's going to be my celebration. And I just want everybody who's been painting along, I want you guys to come. I'm going to do a huge paint party there. Somewhere, I don't know where it's going to be at, but I want everyone who's been painting along with me, all my friends. Let's celebrate. Okay? Stay healthy, stay safe, stay home. Don't go out unless you absolutely have to. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your bodies and your minds. And have a good rest of your night, you guys. All in this together. Love to my seniors, class of 2020, my son Joel and his graduating class at Excelsior High School. all of our nurses, EMTs, our frontline workers, our deputies, first responders. Thank you so much, you guys, for everything you do for people like us. We don't see it every day, but guess what? We know someone's doing it, and it's not us, and you guys are doing it, and we totally appreciate you guys, okay? Have a good rest of your night. All the information's there. Reach out to me if you need any help. Love you guys. All in this together. May the 4th be with you. May the 4th be with you. Always.